Welcome to my channel Daily Exams Preparation. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's dive into the topic.
Which of the following is a key characteristic of an algorithm used in machine learning training? Answer B. Clear input-output mapping with a finite process. A good algorithm is a set of clear steps that finishes in a reasonable time. It takes some input and gives the right output. It always stops after a certain number of steps. If it produces random or endless results, it's not a correct algorithm. In algorithm optimization, what is the purpose of tuning hyperparameters? Answer B. To improve model performance without altering data. Hyperparameters are settings you choose before training a model. They affect how accurate and efficient the algorithm is. Techniques like grid search, random search, or Bayesian optimization help find the best settings. When tuned well, they prevent the model from overfitting or underfitting. Which optimization algorithm is widely used in training deep neural networks due to its ability to adapt learning rates? Answer C. ADAM. ADAM is a popular optimizer that mixes ideas from RMSProp and momentum. It adjusts the learning rate for each parameter separately and works well with sparse data. Because it learns quickly, many people use ADAM as their default choice for training neural networks. What is the main issue of the gradient descent algorithm when dealing with large datasets? Answer B. Slow computation due to full batch updates. Full batch gradient descent checks the error on the whole dataset, which can be slow for big data. To make training faster, methods like stochastic gradient descent, SGD, or mini-batch gradient descent update the model more often, using smaller parts of the data. Which of these occurs when a model performs well on training data but poorly on unseen data? Answer A. D. Overfitting. Overfitting happens when a model remembers the training data instead of learning general patterns. This makes it less good at working with new data. To fix this, we use techniques like regularization and cross-validation. It's also important to control the model's complexity to prevent overfitting. Which method is used to avoid overfitting in machine learning models? Answer B. Early stopping during training. Early stopping is a method that stops training when the model's error on the validation data begins to get worse. This helps prevent the model from learning noise or unnecessary details. Together with techniques like dropout and regularization, it helps avoid overfitting. The best point to stop is found by looking at validation curves. In AI model development, what is the role of a loss function? Answer C. Quantifying error between predictions and actual values. Loss functions measure how wrong a prediction is, like cross-entropy or mean-squared error. The optimizer tries to reduce these errors. This process is key in supervised training. Which evaluation technique ensures that algorithm training is generalized across different subsets of data? Answer C. K-fold cross-validation. K-fold cross-validation divides the data into K equal parts. Each part is used once to test the model, while the rest train it. This helps make the model more reliable and fair. It also shows how well the model will work on new data. When starting with AI using Jupyter Notebooks, what is their main advantage? Answer B. They allow interactive code execution with visualization. Jupyter Notebooks let you run code live. They mix text, math, charts, and code all in one place. This makes them great for learning AI step by step. They are also very useful for trying out AI projects. Which language is most widely used for AI projects in Jupyter Notebooks? Answer C. Python. Python has many useful libraries like TensorFlow, PyTorch, and scikit-learn. Most AI tutorials using Jupyter Notebooks are in Python. It makes building AI models easier and faster. Plus, a big community helps it stay popular in AI. Which toolkit is commonly used in Jupyter Notebooks to visualize data for AI training? Answer A. Matplotlib. Matplotlib is a tool that helps you draw graphs and charts in notebooks. It makes it easy to see training progress, predictions, and data. You can also use it with Seaborn and Plotly for better visuals. Seeing your data like this helps you understand and fix problems more easily. What function does Markdown serve in Jupyter Notebooks while developing AI projects? Answer B. Documents and explains processes. In Jupyter Notebooks, Markdown helps you write notes and explanations. You can add text, pictures, math equations, and lists. This makes your notebooks easier to read and understand. It also helps teams work together better. Which Python library is most often used to handle data frames in AI-focused Jupyter Notebooks? Answer B. Pandas. Pandas is a tool that helps you work with data. It has things like DataFrame to organize your data easily. You can clean, filter, and change your data with it. It works well with other tools like Matplotlib and NumPy. Getting your data ready is very important for AI projects. Why are virtual environments recommended while starting with AI in Jupyter Notebooks? Answer C. To isolate dependencies and libraries for projects. Using virtual environments helps prevent conflicts between different software. They let you use different versions of packages for each AI project. This makes your work more reliable and easier to repeat in Jupyter Notebooks. Common tools for this are WANV and Anaconda. What is the primary benefit of using Jupyter Notebooks for AI experimentation? Answer B. Interactive step-by-step model development. Jupyter lets you run code in small parts called cells. This makes it easy to test AI models step by step. It also helps with fixing mistakes and trying new ideas. Many researchers and learners like using Jupyter for AI work. Which security threat can AI models help detect in cybersecurity applications? Answer C. Malware and network intrusions. AI is used in cybersecurity to find intrusions. It helps spot malware, phishing, and unusual activity. Machine learning finds patterns that regular firewalls might miss. This makes network security stronger. Which AI technique is commonly used in building intrusion detection systems, IDs? Answer A. Decision trees. Decision trees help tell if network activity is normal or bad. They are useful for cybersecurity to find and stop threats. Using many trees together, called random forests, makes detection better. When combined with ways to pick important data, these methods create effective security systems called IDs. What advantage does AI bring to cybersecurity anomaly detection over rule-based systems? Answer B. Learns evolving attack patterns. AI models can learn new bad patterns on their own, without fixed rules. They get better over time by using new data and can spot new types of attacks. Unlike fixed systems, AI keeps improving, making cybersecurity stronger and more reliable. Which AI method is used in analyzing phishing emails in cybersecurity? Answer B. Natural language processing. NLP looks at suspicious texts, words, and data. AI finds phishing by checking feelings and features. It spots fake links and hidden attacker messages. Overall, it helps protect users from email threats. What is the role of supervised learning in cybersecurity threat detection? Answer B. Uses labeled data to classify malicious versus normal activity. Supervised learning uses classification algorithms on network data. It relies on labeled examples to help the system learn and detect problems more accurately. Common models used are SVMs and neural networks. This approach is the foundation of intrusion detection systems. Which challenge is often faced when integrating AI into cybersecurity systems? Answer B. High false positive rate due to noisy datasets. Sometimes, AI systems wrongly flag safe activities as dangerous. This happens because the training data isn't perfect or balanced. Too many false alarms can make security teams overwhelmed. Improving data quality and how we analyze features can help fix this issue. Which unsupervised learning method is often used in cybersecurity for grouping abnormal network activities? Answer B. K-means clustering. K-means clustering groups similar data points together. In cybersecurity, it helps find new or unknown attack patterns. It's useful for spotting unusual activity when there are no labels. This way, it can help detect new threats early. How does reinforcement learning apply to cyber defense mechanisms? Answer B. Improves firewall rules via continuous feedback. Reinforcement learning is a way for computers to learn how to defend against attacks by trying different options and seeing what works. It can change and improve itself as new threats appear. Firewalls and intrusion detection systems can also update their rules instantly. This helps create smart, self-learning security systems that get better over time. Which cybersecurity application benefits most from real-time AI threat detection? Answer D. Intrusion Detection Systems, IDs. Real-time AI quickly spots bad traffic. It stops hackers before they cause big problems. Machine learning helps find new, unknown threats. This makes cybersecurity faster and more effective. What role does feature selection play in cybersecurity-related AI models? Answer B. Identifying the most relevant indicators of attacks. Feature selection helps AI find threats better. It cuts down on unnecessary data, making the system faster and more accurate. This way, the AI works well even with large amounts of data. Why is data imbalance a significant challenge in using AI for cybersecurity threat detection? Answer A. Attack data is often much smaller compared to normal traffic. Most real network traffic is normal and safe. Fake or attack data is rare, so AI tools find it hard to spot them. When training AI, if there's not enough attack data, the system might miss these threats. To fix this, methods like SMORT help balance the data so the AI can better detect attacks. Which AI-based technology helps in identifying advanced persistent threats, APT, in cybersecurity? Answer A. Deep learning with behavioral analysis. Deep learning models can spot small, unusual behaviors. Advanced persistent threats, APTs, are sneaky attacks that stay hidden for a long time. Artificial intelligence helps find strange access patterns and moving between systems. This makes security stronger against hidden attackers. Which cybersecurity domain uses AI for biometric authentication? Answer B. Identity and access management. AI helps with biometric scans, like fingerprint and face recognition. These are used in systems that manage identity and access. They make user login more secure than just passwords and help stop impersonation attacks. Which problem is addressed by Explainable AI, XAI, in cybersecurity? Answer B. Black box decisions lacking interpretability. XAI helps in cybersecurity by making models understandable. It shows analysts why an attack was detected. This builds trust in AI security tools. Also, laws often need decisions to be clear and explainable. Which ethical issue often arises from using AI in cybersecurity monitoring? Answer B. User privacy concerns due to monitoring. AI monitoring collects a lot of user data. If this data isn't anonymized well, it can cause privacy worries. Too much monitoring might lead to ethical and legal problems. It's important to find a good balance between security and respecting user rights.
Thanks for watching and your support. Comment your score, please like, share, and subscribe for more videos.